All right, greetings, fellow grade 11s. It's Mr. Shajar here, and welcome to Back to Basics. What I want us to look at basically today, I want us to examine our November 2018 paper, right? Okay, now let's see in terms of what is it that we were given here as far as equations are concerned. Now, starting from here you are having your x into 2x plus 1 is equals to 0, right? Now, what's the first thing that you're going to do here? Now, this is going to be already here, and this is going to be already factorized, all right? So which means your x is equals to your 0, or your 2x plus 1 is equals to your 0. Then now from here, what is it that you're going to have here? You're going to have 2x is equals to negative 1 divided by 2 on both sides, which means your x is going to be same as negative 1 over 2. Once again, now let's look at the second one. Now, let's look at your 1.1.2. Now, in these types of question, as soon as they say correct your answer into 2 decimal place, basically here, you must what? You must use your quadratic formula, right? Here, you must use your quadratic formula. It is compulsory for you, right? Now, which means here, look, this is given by 5x squared plus 2x, subtract your 6 is equals to 0, right? Now, and remember, this is going to be a quadratic equation, right? Now, so what is this going to be? This is going to be same as your ax squared plus what? Plus bx plus your c is equals to your 0, which means now when you're using your quadratic formula, this is same as x is equals to negative b plus minus. This is going to be same as what? B squared subtract 4ac over your 2a. Now your x here is going to be given by what? Your x here is going to be given by negative. What is your b? Your b is 2 plus minus. This is same as what? Your 2 squared subtract 4. What is your a is 5. What is your c is negative 6 over what? Over your 2 into what? Into 5. Then now from here, you can simply just find out your answer from your calculator, right? Now the answer that you're going to have here is going to what? You're going to have 0.910. Let's plug in our calculator. You're going to have negative 1,31 altogether. So basically, that's what you're going to have for this particular question, right? Now, then let's move swiftly along to our 1.1.3. Let's just make up our space here so that we can be in a position to write that, right? And now, so let's look at your 1.1.3. Now, here you are given that you are having your 2x squared, subtract your 2 is greater or equals to what? Your 3x. Now, the first thing that you can do, this is same as your 2x squared. Now, you can just transpose the 3 this side. So this is going to minus 3x minus 2 is greater or equals to 0, right? Now, from here, if you are not sure, you can still use your quadratic formula, but if not, you can still do what? You can still factorize. Now, when you are factorizing, you are going to open your two brackets. This is greater or equals to 0. You are going to have your 2x here and your x. And the factors of 2 that can help us to get this, this is going to where your 2 is here. And then where your 1 is here, where both of these, or rather this is negative and this one is positive. Altogether. So which means now what is that you're going to have? This is same as 2. Now we are going to say your critical values for this is going to be 2x plus 1 is equals to 0, which means your x is going to be same as negative 1 over 2, or your x is going to be same as your 2. Now, and as soon as you get your values of your x, now you're going to come back and you are going to do what? You are going to write your number line. So this is going to be same as negative 1 over 2, and also here it's going to what is going to be your 2. Now, when x is greater than 0, now remember this is going to be what? This is going to be your smiling face graph, right? So which means basically we are referring to this what? So greater than 0, we are referring to this part, which means basically it's going to be this one, right? But if you do not want to do it like this, you can still do it this as negative 1 over 2 and your 2. This is going to be your open car circle where this one is going to be in this direction, going into those directions, right? And the values of your x now, when you write your solution for your x is going to be less than what? Negative 1 over 2, or your x is going to be greater than what? Is going to be greater or equals to 2. How to get? Oh, remember, because there's an equal to sign, which means here it must be shaded, and this side must be shaded. How to get? So basically, now this is how you are going to write this particular question. How to get? Now, let's continue now and look at your 1.4 and see in terms of what is it that you can do in there, right? So now let's start. Now, in this particular question, right? Now, what is it that you have there? You are having what? You are having, let's look at this one. This is root of 2x plus 5 minus, this is going to be same as 3 over your 2x plus 5 is equals to -2. Now, how can you solve this question? You know, the easier way of solving this question, you can just literally do what? You can just, let's say we let our k be equals to what? Be equals to square root of 2x plus 5. Oh, it's okay. Now, which means wherever there is 2x plus 5, you write your k. So what is going to be this? This is going to be 7k minus 3 over k is equals to -2. Now, when you get rid of this denominator, what is it that you're going to do here? Now, what is this going to be? This is going to be same as what? You're going to multiply by k everywhere, right? You're going to multiply by k, which means this is going to be same as your what? K squared subtracts 3 is equals to -2k. So which means this is going to be k squared subtract your 2k. Now remember, when you take this one this side, it's going to plus your 2k minus your 3 is equals to your 0. Then you are going to open your two brackets. This big equals to your 0, right? Now you are going to have your k here, you are going to have your k here, you are going to have your 3, you are going to have your 1 as factors of 3, right? And then what is it that you are going to have here? Now this is going to be same as what? This is going to be same as your positive 3, and this is going to be same as what? Your negative. How to get? So which means the value of your k here, your value of your k is going to be given by what? Your value of your k is going to be given by -3, or your k is going to be given by 1. But remember, we are not looking for our k here. So we're going to go back here and say, look, now where there is k, now we write -3, which means this is same as what? You can start here and say, you say root of 2x plus your 5 is equals to what now? Is equals to -3. Now, as soon as you have your radical root, you're going to square this side and you're going to square this side, right? So what is it that you're going to have here? Let's just write this one here. This is going to be same as 2x plus 5 is equals to what is -3 squared? This is same as 9, which means you are going to have 2x is equals to, when you take this one, this side is going to be your 4, right? When you take your 5 this side, this is going to be your 4, divide by 2, which means your x is going to be equals to your 2. Or now the same is true. You can start again and do the same thing on this other one, where your k you found it to be your 1. You can say root of 2x. This is 2x plus what? Plus 5 is equals to what? Is equals to 1. Alright, again, then you square on this side, and then you go to square also on those sides, right? Which means you are having what? You are having 2x plus 5 is equals to your 1, which means this is 2x is equals. When you take this one this side, what is it that you are going to have? Here, you are going to have your -5, which means this is going to be -4. Then you divide by what? Divide by 2 here, you divide by 2, which means your x is going to be -2. Now that you found out that your x is your positive and -2, now you are going to check for your solution here, right? How to get now. Oh, now what is that you're going to check from here? Look, now your square root of 2x plus 5 is equals to -3 is going to what? Now here, when you're checking, when you are plugging, basically when you are plugging your what? When you are plugging your 2 here, you say 2 into 2 plus 5 subtract 3 over what? Over root 2 into what? Into 2 plus 5 is equals to, you are not getting your -2 out again. So what does that mean? This basically means this is not your solution. Out again, which means your solution for this particular question is going to be where your x is equal to -2. Out again. So basically now this is how you're going to attempt this particular question, right? Now let's move swiftly along then now. Now let's examine our 1.2, right, which is going to be our what? Which is going to be our simultaneous equations, right? Now let's solve that. Now, in this one, what is it that you are going to do? Let's just check our simultaneous equation that you are given here. You are given that you are having your y plus your x is equals to your 2. Now, the easier thing that you can do is you can make your y to be the subject of the formula, which means this is going to be 2, subtract your x, and then you make this to be your equation 1, right? Then you say x squared plus 3xy plus 8 is equals to what? Is equals to your 0. Then you make this to be your equation number 2. Then you substitute your equation 1 into your equation what? Into your equation 2. What is it that you're going to have? This is going to be same as what? This is going to be same as when there is y, you're going to write 2 subtract x, which means this is going to be x squared plus 3 x into 2 subtract x plus 8 is equals to what? Is equals to 0. Now, when you are solving this, this is same as x squared plus this is going to be same as 2 multiplied by 3 is going to be your 6x. 3 multiplied by x, this is going to be same as what? Negative 3x squared plus what? Plus 8 is equal to your 0. Then you're going to group your like terms, right? When you say x squared subtract your 3x, what is it that you're going to have? This is same as negative 2x squared, right? Then now you're going to have plus your 6x plus your what? Plus your 8 is equals to your 0. Now, what is it that you have here? Now, if you can look at this one, basically here, now remember here you have factors of 2. So you can divide by negative 2 here, divide by negative 2 here, divide by negative 2 here, because your first coefficient of x is going to be what? It is going to be negative 2. And because 2 is also divisible in 6 and also in what? In 8. So which means this is going to be your x squared, subtract what? Subtract your 3x, subtract your 4 is equals to 0. Now you are going to open your two brackets. This is equals to 0. You're going to have your x, 4 and what? You're going to have 4 and 1, right? Now, what is it that you're going to have after having 4 and 1? Here, you're going to say this is going to be your negative, this is going to be your plus, which means your x is same as your what? Positive 4, or your x is going to be same as negative 1. Now that you found your x, what else now can you do? Now from here, you can go back and substitute to find your y. Now, how can you find your y? Remember, your equation 1 is given by y. So you can say y is equals to 2 minus, what is the value of our x here? It was 4, which means this is 4. Which means this your y is going to be negative 2. Or the other coordinates of y is going to what? Y is equals to your 2 subtract. Now you got to what? You got this to be negative 1. And negative is positive, which means your y is going to be 3. Altogether. So basically now that is going to be the next solution for this one. Altogether. Now this is basically how you answer these types of simultaneous equations. Hopefully this makes sense. Now let's just move swiftly along now to our what? To our 1.3, right? To see in terms of how can we solve our 1.3. Now, our 1.3 we are given natures of roots. Now, how can you solve for these natures of roots? Already they say the root of the equation f of x is equals to 0, x is equals to, this is going to be the root that you are given. They say determine the value of n for which the what? For which the root will be non-real. Now, one thing that I want you to understand is that non-real root is when your delta is going to what? When your delta is what? When your delta is less than 0. Are we together? Okay, so this is basically when your delta is equal to less than 0. And in this case, your delta, remember, is given by b squared subtract 4ac. And which means in this case, you do have your delta, right? So this is going to what? This is going to be 716 subtract what? 4m into what? This is same as negative m plus what? Plus 5 is less than 0. Now, how are you then going to solve for this? Let's see. This is going to be your 16 subtract what? This is going to be plus your 4m squared. Now the negative and negative is going to give you negative again. So this is going to be negative 20m is less than 0, right? Then now from here, you're going to group this in terms of what? In terms of greater. Now let's see. So this is going to be same as what? This is going to be same as your what? This is going to be same as your 4m squared minus 20m plus 16 is less than 0, right? Basically, I've just grouped this according to their degree. Now, from here, you go to do what? You go to divide by 4 everywhere, which means this you are going to have m squared, subtract what? Subtract 5m, then this is going to be plus what? Plus 4 is less than 0. Now, you are going to open your two brackets and write this as less than 0, which means your m here is going to be your m and m. You're going to have 4 and 1 where both of them are negative. Okay. And now what is it that you're going to have? Now, they say which values of m that when you plug in m squared, subtract 5m plus 4, you are going to get the values that are less than 0, right? So which means any value that is going to be found between where m is in between 1 and also what? And your 4. This is going to be basically now the solution for that. Altogether. So basically that is going to be the solution for this question where one you're having what where m is in between your -1 and also what and also your 4. Altogether. Now basically that is going to be that. Now let's look at 1.4. Right? Let's just try and look at 1.4 and see in terms of what is it that you can do then in 1.4. Now, in 1.4, they say now show that the maximum value of is equals to 4. Now, how can you do that? Now, let's start here. Now, let's start here. Remember here, you are having what? You are having your square root of what? Your square root of negative x squared plus 4x plus 12. Now, as soon as they talk about your maximum value, what is it that you need to take off? You need to think about your turning point altogether of this particular graph of negative x squared plus 4x and then plus what? Plus 12 altogether. Then what is going to be that? Now, and whenever you are looking for your maximum, you are going to have your maximum where you want, where your x is equals to negative b over your 2a, which means your x is going to be negative. What is your b? Your b is given by 4, which means this is going to be 4 over 2 into -1. And then this is going to be when you're having what? Firstly, this is going to be when you're having your 2. Right? Now, secondly, now that you found this one, remember this is the value of your x. You're going to come back and substitute it back out again. Now you're going to say, look, my maximum value of y is going to be given by what? You're going to come back to that equation and say negative into what? This is same as 2 squared plus 4 into what? Into 2 plus what? Plus your 12. And the answer that you are going to find here, this is same as what? 4. And this is going to give you 8. This is going to give you what? This is going to give you that, which means the answer that you're going to find here, it's going to be your 16, right? And now, as soon as you find your value of your 16, what is it that you're going to do here now? Which means now when you plug in your in this particular square root, you say square root of 16, you'll realize that indeed your maximum value is going to be equal to 4, which means your maximum value now in this case is going to what? Is going to be equal to 4. Why are you plugging the square root into the 16? Remember here you had the square root, right? So when you take the square root back to the square root of everything that you were given before, you're going to get your 16 out again. So basically now, that's how you're going to solve these types of questions now. And hopefully this makes sense to you now. And thank you very much.